Hey y'all. I thought I'd come over here and videotape Hugh. He has been working on firewood for the last couple of days. And I need a break because I've been working on Kringle market stuff for the last couple of days. Pops, tell us what you got here.
Huh?
I said, tell us what you've got here.
Working on next year's firewood. All of them old big slabs that's got plenty of good wood in them, we're making firewood out of them so we don't waste them.
Tell us what this is.
But this is all be for next year, maybe the year after. I've got a pile of wood here that's in the way. It needs to be sawed up and stacked up somewhere to dry. So the next few days I'm probably going to work on this until the weather kind of changes where we can put the tin on top. But I'm not going to get up there in the wind blowing. That tin will take you for a ride if you ain't careful.
And you're waiting on John to get back and help, right?
John's back. He's busy building his deck.
Oh, okay. Well, tell us what this is.
It's a wood splitter.
Well, show us how it works. I'm not going to let him have a break. Get her done. Okay, now I will give you a heads up. Turn your television sound down.
It's loud.
one thing's for sure. You better be cognizant of where your fingers are at all moments.
Absolutely, you better, because it will. It don't discriminate.
No.
And
You be careful.
a quick lesson on firewood. It needs, in my opinion, it needs to dry at least a year. Because if you dry it at least a year, it dries out good and deep. And because green wood will stop your chimney up, too much creosote in it. This up here is locust wood. I keep it kind of separated. This is yellow locust, and you can tell it's got a little bit of a yellow tint to it. Now this, in my opinion, is the best firewood you can get. But locust for me is hard to get, so I kind of keep it separated. And this right here is mostly red oak. Red oak's pretty good firewood. And this right here is wild cherry. Now wild cherry is probably my favorite firewood because it's easy to get and it burns good. It's not as good as locust or white oak. Now white oak is another really good wood, and everybody brags on hickory. I don't like hickory personally. It burns good, but it leaves clinkers like you're burning coal. It leaves big old chunks. It's hard to clean your stove out if you don't have shaker grates. And but hickory does develop quite a bit of heat. But now, if you look on the firewood charts, I don't know if locust wood is even in the fire charts, because I think it's primarily up and down the Appalachia spine. And but anyhow, while the weather's bad and it's windy, where I can put my warm clothes on, I'll just work up firewood and get that done. Be ready for next year, hopefully 2 years, because I save the big chunks like off the sawmill, like this. They don't make real good firewood, but it's too good just to waste, because you have a lot of sapwood on it, and the sapwood burns pretty quick. But if it's got a little heartwood in it, I'll saw it up for firewood.
Yeah.
But everybody just needs to make up their own opinion about firewood. Now that little pile there is poplar. Now, if you have a wood cook stove, poplar's pretty good wood. My grandmother liked to keep her cook stove box full of poplar and pine because it gets hot really quick and it goes out really quick. And Patty can attest to that, because canning a pig when we first got married, and she found out in a hurry a wood cook stove will make you sweat.
I was pregnant with Aaron when I helped your mother can in July and August on a wood cook stove. That was the most miserable experience I've ever had in my life as far as heat.
But pine and poplar would get hot quick and go out quick. Now, that's what they like to do in the summertime, like cooking breakfast and supper, because they could build a fire and the stove would get hot really quick, and then it would burn up really quick and cool off really quick. Of course, that old house, I grew up in it, and where the room where the heater was at, you had a big old blaring fire in the wood heater, and the windows open. And
in the wintertime.
In the wintertime. And then in the back of the house where there wasn't no heat, me and my sister both had a pretty good sized rock. We'd set our rocks on top of the wood heater and get them good and hot, and then we'd wrap them in a towel, and we'd take them and put them at the foot of her bed, and we'd run in their bedrooms. There wasn't no heat where the bedrooms was at, so we'd run in there and get in the bed and take your clothes off after you got in the bed, and you rolled them up and put them under your pillow. So then the next morning you put your clothes on before you got up, and you made a beeline to the wood heater.
And all you folks that are as old as we are, remember that you had like 15 quilts on, so you could barely move. It's like having, it was definitely weighted blanket.
They talk about heavy blankets. Heavy blankets didn't have nothing on what we slept under in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And by my bedroom, they boxed in the old porch. They made my bedroom out of the porch on what used to be the front of the house, and whatever temperature it was outside, your bedroom was about 3 degrees warmer because of your breath. And we used to sit and take our fingernail and we'd draw on the windows on the inside. Of course, that was before double pane windows and all that stuff. And nobody put plastic on their windows in, but...
Was there any such thing as plastic?
Huh?
Was there any such thing as plastic?
Yeah, I guess there was. Yeah, we covered the silos with it.
And that heavy plastic.
And but this wood splitter here, my dad bought it probably maybe a year or so about the time we got married. So that wood splitter's 45-year-old, 44-year-old anyhow. And my dad, after me and Patty got married, my dad spent a bunch of money on that old house and everything. I always aggravated him. He bought the wood splitter and changed a bunch of windows in the house and done a bunch of work on it and made it a little easier to heat. And I told him, I said, yeah, me and my sister, we get grown and we leave home and you fix a stupid house. He said, you needed to grow up tough. I said, no, Pop, you lost your wood cutter. That's what you done. And he just giggled.
Yeah.
My dad had a real dry sense of humor.
Yeah, he was a wonderful individual.
So he thought it was amusing.
It was.
But I didn't use this wood splitter up till I was probably close to 60 years old. I'd split knots with it and big ugly stuff with it, but it was too cotton picking slow. I just used a Go Devil, and I use a 6-pound Go Devil. Everybody uses an 8 or a 10-pound. I prefer the 6-pound. And I probably can't do it now, but like the cherry wood, it splits really easy. If you got a good piece of cherry, it splits easy. And we wouldn't even stand it up. We'd just lay it laying down, swing a Go Devil into the side of it and split it without even standing it up. But I don't even think I want to try that now.
Not with your
shoulders. But a wood splitter, I love it now. I got a bad shoulder and I can't swing it long. And but for an old antique wood splitter, the thing does really good, and I take really good care of it. So, because I plan on I'll have to use it because I can't split wood by hand no more.
Well, there's not a reason to. We've got more time than we did earlier in our lives. Thank you, Pops.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna head over to the house.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to pedal. I may not do no more.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
But I have to have a chair with me everywhere I go now because I can't squat, so I just sit in a chair and split wood.
That sounds like a plan too. His knees, he does have an appointment this month to go have his knees looked at by an ortho, whatever kind of doctor. I can never remember. But he's hoping that there's just going to be an option for some injections. His knees have severe arthritis in them, both of them. That's from too many years of hard work.
Well, working is a way of life, always has been. You grow up on a farm, you get used to working at an early age. It's going on 4 o'clock. It's right down my quitting time anyhow. I usually quit about 4. And but my dad, he is one of them people, he loved to work and he expected you to love it too, which I don't mind. Patty will tell you I'm doing something all the time, right or wrong, but anyhow.
He is, and when he's in the house, he's watching a Western, so I'd rather him be outside doing something. I don't mind most of the Westerns, but those hokey old ones where the women screamed, oh, they get on my nerves so badly.
But there is one phone call you don't want to make. And that's to call your wife and say, honey, come help me get up under a tractor.
Yes, that's true.
But by the time she got there, I took my boot was hung in the forks of a couple of little limbs. So by the time she got there, I done took my boot off and got out from under the tractor and put my boot back on.
Yes, that was not a good day. Bless.
The tractor didn't hurt me, but that holly bush I turned over into, it skint me all over.
That was a big holly bush too. How big around was that thing?
Oh, it was about that big around and about, I guess it was 30 foot tall, and I was pulling it with a tractor that didn't weigh near enough to do it. It was pulling it, but the tractor wasn't near heavy enough.
And the problem was that that holly was not a bush, it was a tree. It was a holly tree. The doggies are waiting to go inside. And the geese are being obnoxious. They do this when they hear me. They can't be quiet. All right, y'all. Let's go get my chicken feed so I can get it started. Need another run of ferment going. I hope your day is beautiful. It's finally warmed up here to 48 degrees. This morning when we got up, it was 17 or 18. I can't remember which, but it was so cold. So very cold. Hey, babies. Hey, babies. Where's number 5? We're missing one. I always worry about that one because if I can't keep my eyes on them, all of them, I always worry that there's one in the neighbor's yard somewhere. Do you see number 5? Do you see number 5? Ah, there she comes. She's being slowpoke.
Next time we go out, I probably get a salt block.
Okay. There she comes. Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. Why are you being so slow? All right, y'all. I love you much. I hope your day is beautiful. It is beautiful here. We have the Carolina blue sky going on. It's just a little cool because of the wind. But I will talk to you tomorrow. Love you. Bye-bye.